Ladies and gentlemen, how's everybody doing? I want to welcome you first and foremost to the first episode here of Transformation TV, where it's all about motivating, encouraging, and inspiring the masses. And I'm your host, Sean White, and this is going to be a great and fantastic adventure, ladies and gentlemen. And I apologize if it seems like, as far as that, the lighting, notice that it's starting to get a little dark here. It's kind of fading off and on. So just bear with me. But I want to welcome you here. This is going to be an amazing ride, an amazing adventure. And on this TV network, what you can expect with Transformation TV is that's going to be all about motivating, encouraging, inspiring people on this segment. And with the previous episodes, I'm going to be teaching you everything as far as from life skills, business, entrepreneur, inspiration, hypnotherapy as well. You're going to be learning a little bit of everything. And the whole purpose by you tuning into Transformation TV is for you to create a breakthrough. It's for you to gain an insight. As far as for you to come out being a better version of yourself than when you first came in. So I think it's only right, because this is the first episode, allow for me, if you will, just to give you some backstory, some context of who I am, because you're watching Transformation TV, but you really don't know who I am. So allow for me just to go ahead and tell you a little bit about myself, and then we can move forward, because this is the first episode and I want us to be very interactive. I want you to feel comfortable, but also too, I want to make sure that you are able to get something out of this, because it's very, very important as you're tuning in as the listener. So, a little bit more about myself. As I mentioned, my name is Sean White, and I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, straight out of the project Section 8 guys. Been there for about 26 years. Also spent some time in Miami, Florida for about 13 years, and still have family and friends to this day that's still in Miami. And I'm currently here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I've been here going on for about 7 years. A little bit more about my story is that I was the type of individual coming up is that I dealt with a lot of different complexities, right? As you can imagine, as being, young black male in New York, especially being in the projects, it was definitely difficult. It was definitely tough. But if anybody were to ask me, it actually raised me and it groomed me to be the person that I am. It gave me the tenacity. It gave me the persistence. It gave me the mental toughness which is needed in order to survive. And having a single mother, with Louise White, she was my first role model. My first role model. And she did everything in which that she could for myself and my two sisters to keep us afloat. But yet, because there wasn't a father in the home, naturally I fell victim to the streets. So unfortunately, my role models at that time, prior to my mother, was pretty much the drug dealers, the pimps, the hoes, the robbers, right? Those were, like, as far as my role models, my idols. Because growing up, as far as in the 80s and also the 90s, we really didn't have much really to look forward to. However, there was something that my mother, she used to see, and a lot of people used to see within me, because I was gifted as far as with the ability to speak, the ability to entertain, the ability to motivate. Even though at that time I used to use it for the wrong purposes and the wrong reasons, but the point is that she's seen something within me, and a lot of people did as well. And I, looking back at it, everything in which I went through, all the ups and downs and everything else in between, it was grooming me to be the person that I am today. Fast forward as far as into my 20s, was really trying to find myself, right? I took all types of jobs, from sales and marketing to inbound call, outbound calls, working for call centers, you name it, I pretty much did it. Construction. I did a little bit of everything. Always had as far as an entrepreneur spirit. Always had that hustler mentality. If you know anyone from New York City, they tell you as far as you got to have at least like 4 or 5 different hustles per season. That was no joke. That was literally me. Okay, did security, did a little bit of everything, like I mentioned. The turning point was that at 26, two events happened that literally changed my life. Well, actually, three, excuse me. Prior to that, if I can fast forward a bit, prior to that, at the age of 19, I lost my mom. And that was, in fact, a major turning point. But also during the ages of 26, what happened is that I lost, as far as my cousin Teresa, which was my second aunt, I'm sorry, my second mother, and also my grandmother Nana, which she was the bedrock of the family. So with those two instances happening, one during Memorial Day weekend, and also on July 4th, God seemed fit as far as for me to go ahead and relocate and change. And that gave me a second chance at life. In Miami, pretty much just really trying to find myself, met a lot of great people, you know, learned a lot of different skills, did a lot of different things. I had an opportunity to really travel and see more. And that was a great experience. But yet again, it was time for a different opportunity. Fast forward now, May 1st, 2016. I'll never forget that day. And this is part of my story as well, guys. Because May 1st, 2016, I came here to Atlanta, Georgia. Was very interesting circumstances. I'll probably tell you guys a little bit more about that as we move along as far as in the episodes. But to make a short story short, basically I ended up homeless, broke and penniless, didn't know anyone in a brand new city. Now, a person may think, well, why would you do something like that? Right? Why would you go to a brand new city and you are broken, penniless, and the only thing you have is a shirt off your back? Well, why would you do that, man? Why would you do that? Well, guys, that was something in which that, to my surprise, only God knew. That was a God move. Literally, I was in the shelters trying to find my way in a brand new city. But God knew what He was doing. How transformation greatness came about was that when I came out from church, from service, I'll never forget this. And I was sitting in the park bench and I was just listening to gospel music. I want to ask you all something. Have you ever seen the movie The Matrix? Do you remember the scene when Keanu Reeves was going through Manhattan and he was trying to figure out his life? And he was at a dead end job. He didn't know what he was going to do. And then everything just froze. Everything. And he heard the voice of Morpheus. For me, that was a God moment because that's when I heard God clearly speak to me. And He told me, as far as that, your brand's going to be called Transformation Greatness. You'll become a $200 million earner. You'll travel all around the world, motivating, encouraging, and inspiring the masses, showing others that it's possible to overcome their self-limited doubts and beliefs. In addition to that, not only will you show others that it's possible, but you're also going to walk the walk instead of talking the talk. In addition to that, you're going to be speaking in venues and areas all around the world. And you're also going to be giving back to nonprofit organizations and charities. In the end, it's all about legacy. When I heard that, ladies and gentlemen, I was like, excuse me? I'm thinking that I'm hearing things. So I didn't pay no mind. Everything went normal. Cars was moving and people were moving. But then this is how I knew it was from the Creator. Because within a few seconds later, everything just went froze again. And again, that voice, just as clear as day, said the same thing over and over. From that point forward, Transformation Greatness was birthed. And from that point, I was then able, as far as to accumulate skills such as being an entrepreneur, learning as far as to become a life and mindset coach, which I am today. In addition, I'm studying up as far as to be a hypnotherapist. But with the skill set which I have now, I can most certainly help multitudes of individuals, help them really achieve the results in which that they're looking for. Also, I became as a speaker. I done spoken on many different platforms, did about 3 keynote speeches, and we're just getting started. And I'm also a partner and CEO for the Small Business Network with Dr. James McConnell, in which that what we do is that we help small based entrepreneurs, those that have a vision, those that are looking to really elevate and take themselves to the next level. I say all that to say this because I wanted to give you all context so that way you can know more about the person in which that you'll be listening to. And this is going to conclude episode 1 of Transformation TV. And I want you guys to stick around because we're going to have an amazing journey. We're going to be authentic here. We're going to get real. And there's going to be a lot of nuggets and wisdom that you'll be able to gather. But also, too, as you are watching this, by all means, please feel free as far as to let me know on what resonates with you. What topics would you like for me to speak and for us to uncover and discover? Because although this is Transformation TV, but this is also your channel. So it's very important that with the comments in which that you all have, let me know because the feedback is very, very important. And with that, I'm so happy and thankful to be doing this. Stay tuned for episode 2 because it's going to be amazing. And who knows on what the topic may be. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, if what I stated on here either motivated, transformed, or inspired at least one person, then may God be the glory, and I'll take no credit for absolutely none of it. Until then, you're all fantastic, and I look forward to seeing you all on episode 2 on Transformation TV. Until then, enjoy your evening. Thank you.